Recently, there has been controversy over a contact made from New Hampshire to California. One YouTuber, K6ARK, argued that it was possibly an internet link rather than natural propagation, and in all fairness, it did seem to be too good to be true. But the other side of the story was privately emailed to me, and in many respects it does seem really plausible. I'm still on Team Skeptic, but I'll present what was sent to me and let you decide. Hey, I'm Rhea, and this is Rhea's Shack, where we talk about ham radio, radio-related hobbies, and activities, and resilience in keeping yourself prepared. If this is your first time here, why not hit the subscribe button and the notification bell? This way you don't miss another video, and you can help us get this content in front of more people. And if you do like the video, you can hit one of the buttons below, preferably the one with the thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, so I'm not looking to start anything.
My attitude is, don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
But people send me stuff. I'm just kind of a sounding board for them at times. So the person who made the contact was Bill NE1B. Bill sent me a long note saying that the contact was achieved through natural means. And by natural, he means that it was done without the aid of the internet or any sort of repeater. He provided a lot of justification, including what he termed a perfect storm of propagation conditions. And when you think about it, it kind of makes sense what he was saying. So let's start with some of the recent things that have been happening in the VHF-UHF world, as I feel this adds context. And as I often do, I go back to my roots in the Caribbean. And there, back in 2019, there are some hams who made long-distance VHF contacts on the 2-meter band with stations as far away as in Cape Verde, which is about 2,400 miles or 3,900 kilometers. This, of course, made headlines at the ARRL and several other ham radio news sites. This is quite unusual, but explainable propagation phenomena explained by seasonal weather patterns that cause ducting over a long distance. The contact in question was D41CV contacting a station in Guadeloupe, FG8OJ. By the way, this station was the first ever I had contacted from Guadeloupe while living in the US. Gordon West, WB6NOA, has documented propagation between California and Hawaii on 2 meters. And being a digital TV hobbyist and DXer, I've received stations pretty far away on the UHF bands. Although really not that far, but we've had stations come in from Binghamton, New York and Albany, New York, so it happens. Anyway, Bill based his theory on several things. One of them, of course, is tropospheric ducting. This is where the signal gets into a duct caused by temperature effects and bounces around and ends up somewhere far away. This particular one is alleged to be from a wide-mouth duct which covered the LA basin in San Diego, and there was one allegedly up in the Northeast at the same time. The other ingredient is a high MUF, or maximum usable frequency, of 174 megahertz. It basically means that propagation is good up to around 174 megahertz, which might be typical at this time of year, as we experience propagation from sporadic E. And the final missing ingredient, Bill claims, is smoke from California and other wildfires containing metal particles, among other things, that enhance propagation and a duct. This part I can sort of relate to, as we were seeing smoke from fires here in New Jersey, from Oregon and Canada, clouding the sky and giving it an orange tinge. So it is alleged that the wildfire smoke plumes were so large and so hot that they created superheating effects in the atmosphere, and they ended up joining 2 ducts and causing this massive propagation event. But let me address some of the other things surrounding this claim. Some say that there was no signal variation, and the signal was too steady, so it had to be an internet link. However, Bill said that there was signal variation, and he has a bunch of witnesses on both ends. Some of them I know because I know them from VHF contesting. The digital dropouts, quote unquote, were the squelch activating on the digital receiver end. And the tight squelch made it seem like it was a dropout. This was in San Diego. The receiver was in San Diego. His friend, AF1T, who I've worked in VHF and microwave contests when I was running with Andrea in the K2EZ rover, said that he also heard the Southern California stations. An AF1T is someone who I would call a reliable witness. There are a few others who actually claim to have heard the signals, but they're not as reliable as AF1T. They're probably reliable, they're just not as well known. There was signal strength variation, as reported here, so this would match up with tropospheric ducting, although tropospheric ducting tends to be pretty stable a lot of times. You can have tropospheric ducting where the signal variation is minimal, although not the same as line of sight. But it's still less variation than ESCIP. By far, the most remarkable thing about this seems to be the enhancement by the wildfire smoke and heat, including the alleged metal particles from burnt-out homes and vehicles. That would be a first. Neil LaRoe, a professor of atmospheric sciences in the Department of Physics at the University of Nevada at Reno, used detailed weather radar data to make three-dimensional maps of smoke plumes over fires. And here you can see one, and it's actually quite massive. There are also some weather maps showing the smoke plumes as well. So it's possible that they helped connect the ducts and by pushing them up, more in the atmosphere. Anyway, I suspect this is one radio mystery that will be forever lost in time. I don't think we'll ever figure out exactly what happened. I'm pretty bummed at that because it would be a really nice official record, but you know what? There's always another day. We keep discovering. Some cons to this is that these modes were using FM, and FM doesn't really propagate as well. But at the same time, some propagation enhancement has happened on FM, including broadcast FM, and even on digital modes like digital television. Some pretty big names have been called in to investigate, including Dr. Nathaniel Frizzell, W2NAF, Carl Litchell-Schwab, K9LA, and Gordon West, WB6NOA. So this may not be over, but we'll keep an eye out. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. This is N2RJ. See you next time.